The Portuguese people that I met, as Mariana was saying, they're very warm and very kind and helpful. I find it's really hard to practice Portuguese because so many people in the city speak English. So I'll go someplace and I'll try to say something in Portuguese, and they're like, "Is English better?" And then I'm like, "Yeah, it is." It makes it hard to like force myself to practice.
Hi, my name is Mariana. I'm a ceramicist in Portugal.
I'm Nicole. I am a ceramic artist from Portland, Oregon, in the United States. And we talked to Dylan today on the Simple Life podcast about our plans to open a community center and how we met on the podcast in 2021.
We also talked about the amazing thing that is living in Portugal and how can we build a community center here in the Caldas da Rainha area.
Welcome back. Welcome to another episode of Portugal Simple Life. And I'm really excited and really happy to be joined here by Mariana Sampaio and Nicole Curcio. Hi, ladies. Thanks for being on the podcast.
Hi. Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
All right. For anybody that follows you guys on Insta, I'm going to ask a question that probably are you guys not sick and tired of each other yet? You're always joined at the hip. Not yet.
Not yet.
Awesome. But thank you for being on the podcast. Mariana, you've been a guest before on the podcast. So Nicole, why don't you start off and tell us a little bit about you?
Okay. I'm Nicole Curcio. I am a ceramic artist from the United States. Originally from the East Coast, but have been living on the West Coast in Portland, Oregon for almost 20 years. And my husband and I have been trying to move out of the country pretty much since 2016. And this is the year we're moving to Portugal.
Awesome. We'll get on to Spain versus Portugal. I'll ask Mariana her thoughts about that. Mariana, just for the people that haven't heard the podcast that we did together, tell us a little bit about you.
So my name is Mariana Sampaio. I'm a ceramicist here in Portugal, specific in Caldas da Rainha area. I have my own studio. It's called Mariana Sampaio Studio. I was here with Dylan like
2021.
July of 2021. That was the first time that we talk. I'm 32 years old. I work a lot. And I'm just a little bit. And I've been running my studio since 2017. I'm originally from a town called Gulgã, near Santarém, where it's really hot. And I moved to Caldas in 2009 to study, and I fell in love with the city, and I stayed since then.
What were some of those things that kind of made that decision for you or helped you make that decision to, okay, it's Portugal, and then also this particular area of Portugal, because it is quite a long country. How did you come to that decision, you and Nick?
Well, let's see.
We're going to get to that. I think you played a part in this, but
she did. This particular part of Portugal is because of Mariana. I mean, not solely because of Mariana, but our original plan. I'm an artist. I was in marketing and public relations and events planning previously. And so I have hosted and co-hosted retreats in Mexico and smaller things in the States. And we really wanted to have a little piece of land where my husband can be a farmer. He's a scientist, but he really is into agriculture and growing things. And a space that was big enough for us to invite other artists to come either for an artist residency or small groups of people to come and do retreats so that you can kind of immerse yourself in the arts and kind of focus on, leaving the rest of the world behind and being purely creative. And so, yeah, it just seemed like a good place to find a little piece of land, a little house with some extra space. We can be further away. We didn't want to live in a city. We didn't want to be in Lisbon or Porto. So Caldas seemed pretty great. It's a small city. It has just about everything we want. And we can live 20 minutes outside of the city and have that little piece of land and house to host guests and still pop into the city and live 15 minutes from a castle. Like, who gets to do that? And we get to be close to the ocean. I mean, it's everything. I don't know. I had this little wish list and it pretty much checks all the boxes of the things that I wanted. So here we are. Here we
amazing.
will be.
Well, I mean,
and Mariana and meeting Mariana. And,
that's what I was going to ask you. How big of a
cherry on top of the cupcake?
Yeah, how big of a role has Mariana played in this and your interaction with her, with other Portuguese people that you've met through her? How much of that was a factor and in your decision as well?
Choosing the region and the location was very much because of Mariana. it may sound a little crazy, but the first time we met in 2021 and we were working in her studio, I said, I have this idea about this community center and this artist residency thing, and I feel like we would be great business partners. Is that crazy to think? And she was like, no, I was thinking the same thing. We really have a very complementary and unique skill set that I think makes us great business partners. And we've had 3 years to practice and collaborate, and yeah, it just seems like a no-brainer, really. I don't know. It was one of the easier decisions, I think, in moving.
How about pace of life, Nicole? I mean, if anybody follows your social, you're like on the go all the time. Are you able to like find some balance here? Do you think you can get used to the pace of life here and stop for lunch, stop for coffee?
Are you laughing?
Yeah, go on.
Sorry, no, go ahead. No.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good question. Well, I grew up just outside of New York City, so I think that's like innately. I've had 20 years in Portland, Oregon to slow down a little bit, but I'm a person who thrives in having too much to do. If I don't have anything to do, I think I do nothing. So I think, yeah, the pace might be challenging, but I am eager to embrace it.
Yeah, so I mean, just talk a little bit a bit more about that work that you guys are going to be doing together. What are you looking forward to with other types of pieces that you guys want to create? What's on the agenda?
The collaborative pieces, I mean, we've done 3 collaborative collections together now, and in the beginning we were really focused on keeping everything blue and white because Portugal and the tiles, the most familiar thing is the azulejos. Gosh, I'm working on my Portuguese too. It's something that is very traditional and very steeped into the culture here, and so we thought for our early collaborations it was important to keep that as a kind of identifier. And then for the 3rd collaboration last summer, we started exploring adding in some other colors. Maybe
black, green.
Yeah, we did some ombre, pink, just kind of testing to see what people were excited about, but it was still that sgraffito style, and we were
adding some gold.
Yeah, I love luster. So just experimenting with some more modern materials and keeping some of those themes going throughout. So I think we'll continue to grow those. And a lot of the stuff that we've done has been planters because my audience is largely people who collect plants and are interested in that. And so we were trying to play to an audience that we knew would be receptive.
Looking for a home in Portugal? This break in Portugal, the Simple Life podcast, is brought to you by Dylan and his team of certified realtors at Portugal Realty. Portugal Realty offers the exclusive Simple Life home buyer program. Visit portugalrealty.com today and book your free call to find out more. Welcome to the Simple Life.
Nicole, how's the food?
Great. I love the food.
Have you tried everything? Mariana, has she tried everything? Is there anything that you didn't want to try?
I mean, I've been trying the different types of food. The
many versions of bacalhau.
I took her to eat a few times at my parents' place, also at my in-laws too. So she's been trying Portuguese and also mixtures of Portuguese and other types of food.
But I think that the most exciting thing about food here for me is that in the United States, I cannot eat food with gluten. It makes me sick. And here it is not a problem. I mean, I have like a little reaction, but not enough to make me not eat it. So I end up coming here and gaining like 10 pounds because I'm eating bread like it's my job.
And pastries.
She has because I can't eat them at home unless they're gluten-free, and it's really hard to find good, dedicated gluten-free. So yeah, I feel like the food, I'm excited about the food.
And is your husband excited about like growing stuff here? Because it's also a great area it's Zona Saloia, as the Portuguese call it, this area for growing crops. He must be super stoked.
He knows about what kind of trees and what kind of things he can grow in this area.
Yeah, I've already found a couple different Facebook groups about gardening in Portugal, specific to the Silver Coast and what grows and what doesn't, and information sharing. So we've been sort of mentally, we're, like I said, we're waiting to find out about this house. We're like pretty sure it's gonna happen, and it has a great land for growing some things, and we're already like in our heads very excited and planning all the things we're gonna grow and the things we're gonna do with my new studio space. And the food is fantastic. So I'm very much looking forward to that.
Amazing. Nicole, what do you want to say, or what do you think people should know about Portuguese people?
The Portuguese people that I met, as Mariana was saying, they're very warm and very kind and helpful. I find it's really hard to practice Portuguese because so many people in the city speak English. So I'll go someplace and I'll try to say something in Portuguese, and they're like, "Is English better?" And then I'm like, "Yeah, it is." It makes it hard to like force myself to practice, or even just even in Lisbon. When my husband and I were here in 2022, we maybe had a little too much vino tinto, and we're sitting in the subway, like trying to navigate our way back to the hotel we were staying in. And this guy like pops up behind us, in between us, and he's like, "Do you need help? You speak English? I can help you. Can I help you find someplace? Like, where are you going?" And we were just like, okay. Just more often than not, people have been friendly and helpful. I have heard about people having experiences that were maybe not as good, but I personally have not encountered that. I've been really fortunate.
Mariana, how does it feel for you to hear your friend talk about your countrymen this way, your country this way, to see her have this journey from maybe one day to, okay, we're actually packing up our lives and going to start a new life in Portugal? What does that mean to you?
Me and her are like soulmates from different countries. I had the idea of building a community center way back when I opened the studio, but I knew there was too much for me just by myself. And she had the same idea to do the same thing, but she also felt that it was a little bit too much. But combining the two of us, maybe that would be the best path to make this happen. So I'm excited. My soulmate is coming to help me. Yeah. And she left. We are really good team. So I'm excited to have as a business partner and also as a friend, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Ladies, maybe Nicole, you can go first, and then Mariana, what's one thing that you want people to remember and take away from our conversation?
Oh, well, I think we can agree on this, that sometimes the internet and social media is not a bad thing. Sometimes if you want something and you have a question about something, it doesn't hurt to ask. Yeah. And in our case, it led to a really wonderful friendship and a lot of unexpected surprises and experiences. So yeah, I think I would encourage people who are chasing whatever version of their dream, and if there's somebody that you're interested in knowing and you are reluctant to reach out, that you should just give it a shot.
Yeah. And also, I think with all this conversation about the community centers, people should follow us and stay tuned in about what we are doing.
Yes, stop jumping the gun. How can people follow you guys? That was my next question.
Okay, so me on social media, Instagram, Facebook, and website is Mariana Sampaio Studio.
Me on Instagram, it's a little more well.travel.wares is my Instagram. My website is just welltraveledwares.com.
Nicole, a question that I previously asked Mariana the last time she was on the podcast, question that we ask all of our guests: Portugal, the simple life, why?
I mean, I think I would say, why not? It's worth taking a chance and trying it, and if it doesn't work, then you can always do something else. But I think it's been warm and inviting and has lots to offer. So yeah, Portugal.
Awesome. Ladies, thank you for being on the podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I'm gonna let you call it.
That's a wrap.
So thank you once again to our guests, and thank you to all of you for listening. Please subscribe, share with your friends, give us a thumbs up, and please leave a comment or a review. We always love to hear from you. Don't forget, Portugal The Simple Life also has a magazine, so download it. It's for free. We'll be back next week with a brand new episode. And as we say in Portugal, sejas bem-vindo. Welcome to The Simple Life.